Well, that was way past cool. I was trying to think of a clever Sonic one-liner. But hey guys, it is I, or Multi-Man. Hey, welcome. If you randomly clicked onto this video and you stumbled onto my review, welcome. Today we're talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. The date of recording this is currently February the 14th at 10 p.m. And yeah, I just got back from watching the movie after grabbing me something else for Valentine's Day. But boy, oh boy, that movie, that was actually way past cool, dude. Oh my goodness. So, first of all, I will say that I have a small bias towards Sonic, so if you wanted to know, yes, I do like Sonic video games, and yes, I do name our whole base of operations the Chow Army because you are precious, all of you who are just viewing or who are subscribed. You are all precious to me, and I would not wish any harm to any of you. But that being said, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Oh boy. So basically, I'm just going to say right out of the gate, I'm going to talk about everything that happens in the movie. That includes spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I'm sorry, you're not going to get it from me. Just because I just want to go at it chronologically from what I remember, because even though I did just watch it, I'm still trying to dial back everything that I watched from the beginning all the way to the end. Alright, so first things that starts off in the movie. Also, I guess for a pretext of what we're going to be doing, most of the stuff you can actually, the stuff that happens in the movie, you can find in the trailers. Some of it's given context and some of it isn't. But a lot of the stuff that you see in the trailers actually happens in the movie. Which is kind of a good and a bad thing because, I mean, all the stuff you anticipate to see how it works in the frame of the movie, because you anticipate most of the stuff, but also it left a little less surprises than I would have liked. But anyways, beginning of the movie, with the newer trailer that probably came out a few months ago before Christmas, with the new Sonic the Hedgehog model, it had our young Kid Sonic, like very young Kid Sonic, running around in Green Hill. By the way, don't think I didn't notice that it was using the Mania track in that first scene. That actually got me giddy in the theater, I won't lie. I was like, yo, they're using the Mania track. It's like they know that Mania was a good game and that they should make another game that's based not off of older games. I digress. Anyways, we have that first scene, the movie, and then after he's done going around Green Hill and talking about how great life is for him, they headed back to these huts, which, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't been able to read any of the Sonic comics. I actually only own one issue, and that was like from way back in the day. But like, I think some of those are reminiscent of some of them that you can see in the Archie comics for back when they had some of the issues. And I don't know if the character who actually is going to be Sonic's guardian for the movie, mentor / guardian of the movie, because once he's done running around and he goes back to where his village was, basically he was being watched over by this one owl lady who seemed to have known that Sonic had a gift, and that, you know, you should probably be careful because there's people who might want that. So it turns out, actually, because this was something that kind of caught me off guard, because I was thinking at first, because, you know, in the trailers it's like, people wanted my powers back on my planet. And I was wondering, how are they going to integrate it so that line made sense? Because again, in the whole movie, it's about, you know, Sonic meeting Dr. Robotnik for the first time in the human realm. So, to my and everybody else's surprise who will watch this movie, or if you're listening to this, you're going to be surprised, they used the echidnas. They actually acknowledged that the race of beings who were trying to channel chaos energy and who were looking for raised to become the most powerful tribe, they used it in a context that made sense. I was actually ecstatic. Like, when I raised both of my eyebrows and I was the blinking guy dude. Like, oh, they really used this in the appropriate context. Wow. And then the Guardian character was trying to save Sonic because, you know, she was like, man, you have such a wonderful gift and power, and it sucks that now you're getting hunted down for it. So, by the way, the ring warp thing has always been a thing in the Archie comics, along with some of the early video games of Sonic. So that made sense. We don't know what happens to the character that basically the echidnas are now attacking because they want Sonic's power, which, to be honest, I'm kind of confused what the echidnas were going to do after they got Sonic's power. Because if anything, I guess they would have tried to see if they could use it to harness the Chaos Emeralds, I suppose. Again, this movie has nothing to do with, like, the Chaos Emeralds or anything from Mobius. It mostly just has to do with stuff from Earth. Because basically after that, the whole thing with Sonic is that he's basically afraid to use his power because he just got somebody he cared about killed and he couldn't protect them. So he was told to basically run away, and that's where most of the plot goes with. Running away to try to make yourself feel better and forget. Anyways, then we get an introduction to Tom, the main male character, and how he's just a cop in a rural area, Green Hills. He's good. He's a good actor. I didn't feel like any of his deliveries or anything were too bad. Kind of sucks that most of his plot is, so basically for the first act, it's like, you see Sonic interact with him a little bit, because he's like, he has a speedometer, and I can use that to gauge my speed and how fast I've been going lately. Because at this point, it's been probably, like, for Sonic, I guess it's been like 5 or 6 or 7 years. And he's grown up a little bit, but he still acts childish, so, you know. But anyways, after that, Tom, the main guy character, got offered a job position that his wife knew about. Then there's a funny scene in there that happens, which is really, really nice. Basically, he was a police officer, and he didn't feel like he was doing too much of saving people's lives because he was in a rural area, and basically all he was doing in the movie at the beginning was kind of helping out the townsfolk with their needs and also helping out the animals, really. And his wife was a veterinarian. That will come into play later, but that's the main crux of them. And basically he got a promotion, so he's like, cool, that's cool. And around this time, Sonic was trying to find himself and make himself feel better because, again, he witnessed his only guardian and the person that he was being taken care of by, basically at the beginning of the movie, just kind of is gone and presumed to be dead. Again, presumed to be. In any case, Sonic watches a baseball game, then you know how the trailer goes, he plays the game of baseball, then he gets upset, and then the reason why he is able to use his power to his maximum capacity is because he was trying to vent out his frustration, so he was trying to run as fast as he could to get all of his pent-out emotions. And that's when the actual main story starts with Jim Carrey entering from stage left. By the way, also in this movie, they make Robotnik seem like a undercover agent who basically takes care of like some of the really nasty stuff that happened on in the world. Like literally all the powers that were in the military were basically like, yeah, we're gonna send in this dude who basically has been taking care of other kinds of stuff. Like, have you heard of this place? And somebody's like, no. And it's like, yeah, they're the reason why, because our boy dealt with it before it could become an issue. So basically, at that point, you know, oh, Eggman, or in this case, Robotnik, he really wasn't playing around because he's like, bro, I don't care. Then you get the next scene that you remember from the first trailer with Gangster's Paradise. And yeah, introduction to him. Basically, he gives a metaphor of Charlotte's Web, where Charlotte lays a big has a big egg sac that gave birth to a bunch of spiders. But in his case, he said he had to check out his sac and with a bunch of robots, and I was like, cool. I mean, that's a weird analogy because I know for a damn fact, okay? Only people over the age of 10 are gonna get that one. I'm sorry. Because I'm pretty sure Charlotte, or, what? Yeah, Charlotte's Web, the book and the actual movie, is quite dated at this point, but you know, it was a funny joke for those who got it. And also, it's just kind of that, oh, joke. So at this point, Robotnik is basically like, yo, we're gonna find him because, you know, robots are pretty great because they're not humans and they're not incompetent. Basically, at that point, Sonic's like, dang, where my hideout is and where I was living, I kind of gotta leave. Because the guardian that sent him on his way, after almost getting caught by the echidnas, basically said, if you ever feel in danger, use the rings to warp to different places. So you don't get caught and you lose your powers. And stuff like you so much need to take care of. Then after that, we're going into the point where, now Sonic's running away from Eggman's robots, and then he goes to, Tom's house, or garage, and breaks in to try to use a ring. Tom shoots him in the leg, and Sonic, unfortunately, as he calls one of the rings and he got shot in the leg, he dropped all of his other rings. So basically, the only way that he was now going to go anywheres to get his powers or his rings to actually warp to safety are now in San Francisco, which happens to be where his wife went during the timing of looking for a new place to stay for his new job. Anyways, so we're going to fast forward a little bit because at this point, a lot of this stuff is reused from the trailers, where it's like, okay, Dr. Robotnik then goes into the house and tries to find Sonic, threatens your boy, Tom, basically by saying, I'm going to shoot you and there's nothing you can really do about it. Which is good on Robotnik. He's a savage just like his grandfather, Gerald. But anyways, thanks to Sonic's quick thinking, he basically stopped it before it got too out of hand. They left. And basically at this point now, they're going on a road trip to go to San Francisco to get his ring so he can leave and be safe. Basically what else that happens is basically another scene from the trailer where it's they stop and they head to a gas station. He's trying to contact some of his police buddy. Obviously, Robotnik is a bit one step ahead, so he basically is like, yo, you should probably stop running before I have to do some real bad stuff to you, and he's like, whatever. Then he was about to leave, but then Sonic goes into what we would call the Western pub. And yeah, certain guys there didn't enjoy that, and then they had an action scene, which was really good. Very comedic. But then after that, what happens after that? Oh yeah, then they went to a hotel, they slept, and then Sonic got to do a bucket list. I think, yeah, the bucket list was before they left the pub, because the guy was like, well, I mean, I guess we can stay here for a while, but he's like, because Sonic was trying to coax him to be like, I haven't done so much in this planet, because, you know, I've been trying to keep low. And he's like, why don't you make a bucket list? Also, sorry if I sound really nasally, because I'm sick. And I went out on a negative 15 weather to go see the movie, and I had to walk to the theater because all the parking was taken. That aside. So basically, the whole road trip thing is him doing his bucket list and having fun and being like, I'm up for adventure, haha. And as they're driving after leaving the hotel, basically, Eggman attacks them with like a robot with 3 different levels of intensity, 4 different levels. And Sonic basically almost gets himself killed. At this point, we're halfway through the movie, by the way, because one of the robots actually ends up self-destructing, and it damages Sonic fairly greatly. Anyways, at this point, Tom then goes to where his wife is, which was at her sister's, and basically, since she's a veterinarian, she was trying to help him. And then Sonic wakes up. They have a little bit of domestic dispute, being like, what is going on, and why is this happening? Why are you on the news? And it's like, oh yeah, you know, you have an alien that's a hedgehog that apparently that has a heartbeat of a friggin' fitness grams pacer test. Anyways, then we move on to the next scene where you also saw it in trailers. It was the elevator scene going up to the building of San Francisco. I just mixed Big Hero 6 with the Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyways, that being said, they get up to the top of the roof with really no hassle or hassle. Basically, Tom flashed his badge and said, I'm a police officer. Somebody's about to jump off the building. I'm like, wow, that's pretty dark for a kids movie. And she's like, well, I guess if you said somebody's gonna jump, then I better stop. I better give you this key. Anyways, they go up to the roof, him and his wife and Sonic, and then they're like, yay, we got the rings, so I guess Sonic can now leave if he wants. And then they have a whole thing where Sonic's like, man, I really don't want to leave, but you know. Also, Tom, I respect you making your choice a hard choice for yourself when you have, you know, so much back at Green Hills that you were trying to protect too. But I understand trying to do bigger and better things, yada yada yada. Then Robotnik comes out of nowhere and says, gotcha! And then another action scene happens. Sonic does some sick maneuvers. Then you get to hear a sound effect that was very funny because oh boy, Sonic ended up getting hurt and dropping all his rings, and it made the sound effect. It was really good and really sad. And then, because of Jim Carrey, also in the previous scene when he got beaten up and tried to get Sonic the first time, he used the energy from that one pit spine needle. Anyways, whatever it's called on a hedgehog, and basically put it into his machine. So basically, it has the same amount of energy as regular Sonic, just by himself. So basically, when he did his slow down time thing, it didn't affect the egg. I guess it was his airship. Yeah, it was his flying hovercraft, because basically it now had the same energy and properties as Sonic. So basically, they had a big epic scene where basically Sonic was trying his best to outspeed the Doctor, because, you know, he's only been taught to run away and protect his power. Ends up getting him pretty much beat up, and by the time he tries to go back to Green Hill, where he sent both Tom and his wife, I really wish I could remember the wife's name, but they don't mention it very often. Anyways, basically, Sonic gets so beaten up when he warps through that ring from where they were when they were having their battle. Robotnik comes in and Sonic's basically down for the count, but you know, the people of Green Hill and Tom and his wife basically were like, no, we believe in the power of friendship. And then Sonic woke up because he's like, I have friends on my side. And then he gets, honestly, one of the coolest things basically in the movie, where he gets basically, what was it called? The Lightspeed attack? Basically from Sonic Adventure? And he's like, yeah, about that. I'm not gonna lose this children's film and die for the second time. So yeah, and then a cool action sequence happens. And that's all fine and well. And then, at that point we're at the end of the movie. Thought your boy Tom decides to stay in Green Hill, and then he decides to adopt Sonic as his son. Basically now they live with him. And that's basically how the movie wraps up. But then, after credit scene, and after some extra good tidbits when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog lore, we get a preview of basically what's happening. So basically, your boy Robotnik is now at Angel. They call it the Mushroom Planet, but basically he meant Angel Island. I would assume, because that's the only place that would make canonical sense. Because the next thing that happens at the end of the movie, after you watch through the first set of credits, is that then you get a look at what Tails' model looks like. Because, yeah, like I said, there was already spoilers, so if you were listening this far, you're already content listening to the spoiler. But basically, Tails, per hours, makes an appearance at the end of the movie and saying, "Oh, we need Sonic because, you know, your boy now is in their dimension and he's starting to be a real nuisance." Which to me is also a surprising thing because at some point then that means either Sonic must have went back to Mobius or Tails must have met him when he was very, very young. Could I still imagine? Because Tails canonically, in like the beginning of like, what was it? Sonic the Hedgehog 2? He was still like 6 or 8, so canonically it's like Sonic as a kid was like 6 or 7 or 8. Then Tails would have been like maybe 4 or something, so would have been smaller, but Tails specifically says that he needs to look for Sonic, and then you get a little scene where he jumps up, flies around really fast, and tries to look for him. Basically setting up for a second movie, which is kind of dope, because they took so much attention to detail in this movie that it actually made me very happy to watch, and I wasn't even disappointed at all. The times that Sonic did Fortnite dances, though, was 2 times too many. I really disliked those parts, but I really didn't want to groan, because, my gosh, as soon as I saw the part, I was like, yep, I'm losing my mind, and then it happened again, and I'm like, why is it continuing? But anyways, that being said, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is a masterpiece. It's unfortunate, though, that a lot of the scenes in the movie were put into trailers. Like, that is the one thing I can say with all certainty, which is a little bit disappointing, because the only surprises were some stuff at the beginning, it had some good jokes, and some stuff at the end that made a lot of sense for setting up for a sequel. But everything in like the middle chunk kind of was already shown in trailers, so even when I said this was a spoiler review, most of it you already got spoiled on previously, other than some of the context. And I didn't even tell you all the context, really. But some of those major things, I guess, were shown. I don't know when this is going out at all, but I just wanted to get my ideas and my whole feelings on the movie out there. I thought it was good. They used the source material really well. Oh, they did the ending scene. Oh, they did something really cool with the ending scene that almost... Well, I cried like several times in the movie, but it may have been because of my cold, as you can tell by the stuff nose still. But in any case, I think that's it for me. It's been fun, but it's like been, at least for me, 24 minutes of recording. But anyways, guys, I've been Multi-Man. I will catch you lovely childs of the internet next time. And for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get some rest, because, oh boy. Sonic the Hedgehog movie was great, and I actually cannot wait if they're gonna make a sequel to make an actual more based on the game Sonic movie.